Indiana, Montana, Sydney, Australia, Georgia,
Wow.
North Carolina. This is amazing. More from Montana, Grand Junction, Colorado, Florida, Pennsylvania, Louisiana. Oh my goodness. Northern California, Pennsylvania. Look at this, you guys. This is amazing. Iowa. Whew. And if you guys have invited anyone, don't forget to just send them a quick reminder. We're going to get started right now. So my name is Tara Wilson. I'm a presidential consultant here in LifeVantage. That probably doesn't mean that much to you, but I've been in the profession now for 17 and a half years. And I fell in love with the idea. I was invited to something like this in person because we didn't have Zoom 17 and a half years ago. And it changed my life. I saw the opportunity to help people get healthy through products and education, and then help people share that with friends and family and network and professionals in the area and create leveraged income. And it literally changed my life. I was able to replace my six-figure income and quit my job within 8 months of starting. So I believe in this profession with my whole heart. I have been running ever since. I've been just an advocate for wellness. And so if you're someone out there that loves wellness and loves, all the things healthy and wanting to help people solve their problems, you're in the right place. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom or a working professional or a medical professional, we have room here for you, whether you're a college student, a retiree. And so I'm just excited that almost 9 years ago, my journey led me here to LifeVantage, because it is the most incredible company I've ever been a part of. Integrity at the highest level, from corporate to the field leaders. And I'm really excited that somebody cared enough about you to invite you here. They saw something in you. So I hope that you see what we see and you fall in love with LifeVantage and you decide to partner up with us, because we have some exciting things coming. And so I would like to bring on our first speaker. And these guys are two of my absolute favorite trainers. They're intelligent. They have a lot of experience. So my job is to bring on the first one. He is I'm not going to tell his age. He put his age in his bio, but he is a young U.S. Air Force veteran. He was a real estate appraisal. He's married to his beautiful wife, Tasha, for 30 years. They have 3 kids and 2 grandkids, which is his favorite, by the way. I know, Tyler, I'm like, my kids are 24, 18, and 15, and I'm like, already can't wait to have grandbabies. So I totally get what you mean. I'm sure they are the light of your life. I love watching you guys with them on social media. And I'm sure that is the greatest part about this profession, is you get to be a part of their life while you're working, wherever you want, with who you want. So he has made a very big splash. This guy is a true professional. In his experience, or in his over his career here, he has, you guys, are you ready for this? When I read this today, I was like, oh my goodness. He has built teams that have done over 1.5 billion with a B in sales, currently over 10 to 12 million per month. He was one of the people who was starting LifeVantage 15 years ago, and he has reached the top of 2 MLM companies. And we are very, very honored to have him here leading the charge for 15 years. So without further ado, please help me welcome presidential consultant Tyler Daniels. Welcome.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate that, Tara. Can you guys hear me okay?
You're good.
Fantastic. Well, hey, we have got, it looks like 300. We just broke 300 people on this call. If you are waiting for someone to text them, get them on this call, you guys. We're gonna tell you a lot of really good information tonight. Get them on this call. We want to blow this thing up. We want this call to be something that is transformational in your life. So call your people, text them, get them on the call. And I'm just going to go here in the beginning and give you just a little history of the company. So if you've got time to get these people on the call, give you a little history of the company. And then we're going to do a couple things tonight. As we've been in this industry, we actually look for companies that are trying to solve 2 different solutions. One of them is a financial solution, and one of them is a health solution. And so our goal tonight is to give you the ability to see those solutions and then be able to make a decision. That's our goal. Okay. So let me take you back into the very, very beginning of my career here. I actually have been in this industry for about 20 years, you guys. About 20 years. I was in the United States Air Force. I met my wife in the United States Air Force. Tara talked about being married for 30 years. We got married after 2 weeks of knowing each other. So once we make those commitments, we really stick to those commitments. But we got in the Air Force. We got introduced to a couple network marketing companies. I became a real estate appraiser. She became an insurance adjuster. We did really, really well. We were not necessarily looking for anything in our lives, but this network marketing, multi-level marketing industry came across our lap. And I will be honest with you, the first two experiences we had, they weren't great. In fact, they were a couple of those kind of experiences where you make promises to one another that you may never do this kind of thing again. And I tell you guys that because I hope to relate to those of you that have been invited on this call that are new, or maybe if you're on this call and you've been in the business for a week or a month or a couple of years, or even from the inception of our company or anywhere in between. I want you to know that we had very, very similar emotions to a lot of the people that we talked to, or the people that you might start talking to. So we didn't have a great experience. We did not have, one of those ones where we were like, oh, we just kind of fell into it. We actually made commitments to one another that we were never going to do this again, until a friend of mine called me and said, we've got some professionals coming to town. And if you're my friend, you're going to come in and take a look at what we're doing. Now, my wife threatened me. She did. She threatened me when I went to that meeting that you are not doing these things. And I signed up anyway. I did it anyway. I came home. I was in a lot of trouble, but we did have a little bit of success in that first company. And it allowed me to buy myself off the couch. And then my little joke to her is I got her some LASIK eye surgery so she could have some vision. And that kind of led to where we're at now. And so you guys, we had a tremendous amount of success in our first company. We hit the very top of the very next company. And then 15 years ago, we ran into LifeVantage. 15 years ago, we found the company that was doing the things that we had learned were really, really important in the industry. So if you've ever been introduced before, I get it. If you've done this before, I get it. If this is the first time you're ever seeing something, be very, very happy that you're hearing about this company first, because we've done a lot of the groundwork to make sure that we can provide the solutions that we know you have to be successful in this industry. Okay. All right. So with that being said, you guys, we're going to shake it up on everybody tonight. We're going to start with the financial solution. And then I get the opportunity to bring one of my favorite people onto this call and talk about the health solutions. The reason we're going to do it like this tonight is because I want to show you some possibilities so that your mind is open. I want to show you some possibilities so that maybe you'll listen a little bit more about how can you talk to your friends about the products that we have all fallen in love with. Okay, so we're going to start with the compensation plan tonight. I'm only going to give you a really, really brief overview. For some of you guys that are like, what is going on? He's doing this backwards. It's going to be brief, but my goal is to maybe be provocative enough to make you ask questions. What did all those numbers mean? How do I really go out and talk to friends? How do I really start making money? Because here's one thing I know. I know that as I travel around this world, you guys, there's some people that are hurting. I know there's some people that are struggling at the grocery stores. I know people are looking at house prices. I know you're looking at the interest rates. I know that you're asking yourself a lot of times, how am I going to be able to overcome what is going on with things that I have absolutely no control over? Okay, so we're going to start there. We're going to show you that there's a possibility to have the kind of success that Tara's had, that I've had, or like my guest speaker, Dr. Dondee N has had. We're going to show you those possibilities. And then we're going to say, once you understand there's a possibility, wait till you see the incredible products and the positioning that this company has taken, and we're going to ask you to help us position this product or create exposure for this product to give it the broadest exposure in the world that we can possibly do. Okay, so I hope you guys are going to appreciate that. Let's dive into it. I am actually in Sturgis right now. I'm up here at the bike rally, so I've got somebody else running my slides. Gentry, let's go to that very first slide. When you get excited about a product, there's a couple things that you can make money with. There is a retail version, there is a subscription version, and then there is the consultant version. Let me explain to you what that means. If you hear about these products later and you go, you know what? I think my friends want some of that. I think my friends would benefit. I think my parents would benefit from that. If you sell it to them at a retail, you're going to have about a 20% difference between the retail price and the price that you would pay as a consultant. All of it is yours. 100% of that retail to consultant difference is yours. Now, we actually recommend that you put people on subscription for a reason. We know that we've packaged everything in roughly 30-day supplies. Keep that in mind when we get into these products. We package everything in 30-day supplies. If you put someone on a subscription because you want them to continue to benefit long-term, you're going to get a 10% difference. But here's the key. Here's the trick. When you sell retail, you have to do it every month. You have to have people come to your house, or you have to go call those customers and do it every single month. When you put them on a subscription, here's the goal. Educate them really, really well one time, and then get paid every single month for the rest of your life, or the longevity or the time frame that they buy those products. Now, that's the model I was taught. That's the model that has allowed me to build those enormous organizations, like Tara explained to you earlier, is putting people on a subscription so that I don't have to do work over and over and over and over again on the exact same person, okay? So the first thing that we did, there's 4 behaviors we're going to talk about real briefly here. The first behavior, you guys, is gathering your consumer base. We want you to find those customers. We want you to go out and say, we have a product that everyone can benefit from. It's an activation product. It's very unique. It's something that stands alone. You can't get it anywhere else. We want you to go find the customers. We want you to find those people that are going to benefit from these products. And I promise you, after you listen to Dr. Dondee N talk about these products, you're going to believe everybody on the planet should be taking them. That's how exciting these products are, okay? So next slide, Gentry. When you start gathering those customers, you're going to fall into one of 4 different categories based on the amount of customer volume or the amount of product that is being purchased. Our goal is to get people to the diamond level. We want you to get to the diamond level. We want to get you to that $4,000 mark, because when you get there, you will get that 10% for the subscription plus an additional 20% for reaching that 4,000 mark. And it's going to pay you a total of 30% of whatever product volume you are selling. Now, remind you, I'm going to say it again. I repeat myself a lot. If you've done your job right, if you've done the work right, if you've educated people properly on month 1, month 2, they just buy it again. They just buy it again. So once you've built this customer base and you hit that diamond level, you get 30% every month, month after month after month. How many of you guys have ever heard of income that is passive? How many of you guys have heard of income that is something that is residual? How many of you guys have heard of income that is something that you did work once and got paid many, many, many times for? It's the kind of income we try to get you guys by investing throughout our entire life. I know you guys know what that is. I know you've been told to invest every single month for 20, 30, 40 years. Put a couple $100 in so that you can accumulate enough money in your investments to live on the interest. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a program very, very similar to that. So behavior number 1 is to go out and find your customers. Okay, next slide. Behavior number two now is to start asking people to be a part of your team. Now, just like Tara has built these large organizations, she said she's been at the top of 4 different companies. I've been at the top of 2 different companies. The only way that you can do that is to build a team, okay? It's one thing to go gather your customers. It is an entirely different thing to find a Tara or find a Tyler or find a Dr. Nettles. It is an entirely different thing when you have somebody else talking about these products to their friends. It's an entirely different thing when they start to build their team, okay? This bonus that you're looking at right here, I am not getting into the granular side of this. Just to understand that when you enroll people to help you tell the story, and by the time we're done tonight, I'm going to tell you, if you're not excited, hey, just go back and stay broke, okay? That's as mean as I might get on this call tonight, okay? If you're not excited, then just go back and be broke. But if you get excited about what we're doing, build a team. Everybody you enroll would be on that first level. Everybody they enroll is on the next one, and so on and so on. We do this for 9 generations or 9 levels of enrollments, okay? So imagine you went out and you got 3, 4, 5 people who went out and got 3 or 4 or 5 people, and their goal is to hit that diamond rank. Their goal is to go out and tell about these products, create this exposure for the entire world, okay? And they build to that diamond rank. How big are those little percentages going to be when they pay you? Okay. All right. Next slide. The third piece of the compensation plan is leadership development. See, what our long-term goal is, we want to turn you into a Tara, or we want to turn you into a Dr. Nettles. We want to turn you into me. We want you to be independent. We want you to be able to lead your own team, train your own team, teach your own team how to be successful in this business. Well, we're going to pay you to do it. We're going to pay you a matching bonus on the amount of income they make from that previous level bonus, okay? And we're going to do it through 7 generations at a certain rate. That means they can be scattered through any level. That it could be hundreds of levels away from you. It could be 50 levels away from you. It can be, you guys, you will find out that if you are building leadership 7 generations away, it could be hundreds of levels away from you, which creates stability, which then creates that income that you can count on. See, I love the idea of working once, doing it right, educating people properly, and then getting paid again and again and again and again. I love this idea, and you guys need to understand what it is. Okay, 4th behavior is this. You know, you hear these big numbers. You heard Tara talk about my organization's done over $1.5 billion in sales. That's true. We've done over $1.5 billion. When people hear that, what they ask all the time is, how do I get paid from what Tyler's already done? How do I get paid from an organization that he's done all the work, where he's done thousands of these presentations? How do I get paid from that? Well, we have something, you guys, if you go to that next slide, Gentry, called a pool bonus, where we take 4% of the entire company's volume, all of it, everybody you're going to hear tonight, other people that you're going to hear on the Wednesday night calls, we take 4% of all that volume, we put it into a pool, and we say, if you'll hit the top 5 ranks of our company, you get paid. You get paid on the volume I've done. You get paid on the volume that Tara's done. You get paid on the volume that other people have built as they're gathering that customer pool, or they're bringing consultants in, or they're building teams of their own. You get paid if it's in the United States. You get paid if it's in Japan. You get paid if it's in Australia. You get paid no matter where the company is generating this volume around the world, which means that we are borderless when it comes to being able to pay you a commission. Okay? So, like I was telling you guys in the beginning, there are 2 solutions that companies are trying to find. One of them is a financial solution. We just went through the nuts and bolts of a financial solution. I hope that what I gave you in that very, very short period of time was enough for you to pay attention to what Dondee is going to go through with us right now. I hope I gave you enough information to be a little bit provocative or a little bit inspiring, or maybe created a little teeny bit of curiosity with you to get with whoever showed you this, who invited you on this call, and ask them more questions. Okay? That's what I hope I did. This comp plan was because our incredible CEO had the foresight 3 years ago, actually 4 years ago now, to bring an outside consultant firm in and make sure that we were competitive in today's financial markets, competitive today in the social media world that we live in, competitive today as you watch other network marketing companies try to do or even keep up with what our company's done. Okay. So that was the goal. I hope we've done it. Next piece, health. You guys, health. Tara said that she is a health fanatic, right? That's what she did when she did this introduction. Health fanatic. You know, I've been in this industry 20 years, you guys. I have found that our company, and I'm sure there's somebody else out there. I'm sure there is. I don't want to just be so, black and white that I would suggest we're the only one. But I will tell you that in my experience, we are attracting the best of the best of the best when it comes to health. When it comes to people who are educated, when it comes to people who are looking for a solution that is long term, when you look for a company that has products that are not what we would call Me Too type products that will stand the test of time, okay, we're attracting that person, the person that is looking for that company, the one that says, you know what, I want a product that you can't get anywhere else, okay? So let me give Dondee a proper introduction here, you guys. I asked him to send me a little bio, and he sent me so much stuff I didn't know about him. I feel so educated on him today. I actually had to cut it down I'm going to save some of the stuff he told me I'm going to use for blackmailing later on, just for fun. But let me tell you who this guy is. Okay, let me tell you who Dr. Dondee Nettles is. So he was born in Northern California, San Francisco Bay Area. When he was younger, he played baseball, and he got one game away. This is kind of cool. He got one game away from the Little League World Series. They were playing against Taiwan. Now, I'm reluctant to tell you the year, but I'm going to because he put it in there. It was in 1977 that he did this, where he was one game away from getting into the Little League World Series. In that exact same year, though, and this is kind of a fun one, he was the California State he was in the California State Spelling Bee. I can't even say it. He can spell it. He was in the California State Spelling Bee in 1970. I think he was the runner-up in the California State Spelling Bee. California, that's kind of a big state. There's quite a few kids there, I would say. That just gives you an idea of how about how smart this guy really is. Now, he went to college. He changed his major 7 times. He could not figure out what he wanted to do in life until he got introduced to being a chiropractor. As a chiropractor, though, he was voted in as in the who's who of American colleges and universities from 1996 to 1970. He had the 4th largest solo chiropractic practice in Arizona. So think about that. Now you got another really, really large state. He had the 4th largest chiropractic practice in the state of Arizona. He had 350 to 500 patients per week coming in. Does it sound like somebody maybe we should listen to? Sound like somebody that might have, I don't know, a little bit of wisdom or some education or the ability to research things, okay? I know this is one of his more proud things of all these things that are incredible. He's been married to his lovely wife, Marcy, for 11 years. They have a blended family with 4 amazing kids and 3 grandkids, so he knows exactly how I feel about grandkids. Here's kind of a fun stat, a really cool stat. He is consultant number 114. So ask yourself, I mean, if you could ever have a magic wand and turn the clock back, can you imagine being consultant 114 in LifeVantage? That's who he is. So they're also, they're chaplains at their church. You guys, these are very, very spiritual people. So very, very grounded spiritual people, chaplains at their church. And then the other thing, you guys, that I think is very, very interesting about Dondee is while he's been here with LifeVantage, he's so well respected that they asked him to be a part of the scientific advisory board. That's who we're going to talk to tonight. That's who's going to talk to you about these products tonight. So with that introduction, let me just start it off like this. Hey, Dondee, let me just start the first question with, what was it? I mean, you were wildly successful. You were wildly successful in your own practice. What was it that made you even consider, a new direction or the potential of joining this industry where you might have some people question that decision? What was it in the beginning that really caught your attention?
Well, it was quite honestly, Tyler, it was the science. But I was at a moment in my life that I had, despite the success in my practice professionally, I was really struggling personally because I had 2 children at home that I literally never saw based on the demands of my practice. Because not only was I in practice and seeing patients, that many patients, we also had an AM talk radio show every Saturday on 2 different stations here, AM stations here in the Phoenix Valley, KFNX 1100 and KPXQ 13 stick seats. So I was literally never home. And so I wanted to be daddy, but doctor was taking all my daddy time. And it wasn't until I just started praying about something to change that I could be a part-time daddy and a part-time doctor, where LifeVantage came into my life. But I will tell you, I was a very reluctant recruit because I had a sign on my practice door that said no soliciting, and it mentioned 2 companies by name because they were the 2 most prevalent in my area right now. And so I literally wanted no part of network marketing, and not because I had ever tried it, in full transparency, because I had never tried it, but I didn't know anybody who did. I got solicited a ton. And before I opened my practice here in Arizona, because the permits took about 3 months longer than they were supposed to, I had a lot of free time. And I went into the court system here in Arizona to see what chiropractors were being disciplined for as far as their license is concerned. And I saw a repeated habit over and over, that they were selling network marketing distributed products that had no clinical sense. In other words, they were selling candles and press-on nails. I remember that one. That I just didn't understand why doctors would be selling candles and press-on nails to their patients. So that just reaffirmed why network marketing was not in my future. But it wasn't until Protandim, which was not a network marketing product, when I started taking it. It was off the shelf at GNC. And I had tremendous success personally with a knee injury and bringing it into first 5 initial patients and then over 30 when I got a call from an amazing firefighter in Tucson by the name of Blue Elam, who shared with me this company and this product that I was already taking, already had it deeply entrenched into my practice. And the only reason I decided on that was because of the science. And as a professional looking, and it was not network marketing, so I didn't scrutinize it that way, but it had to be something that stood up to the science scrutiny, which I put it through, and it did. And then once I saw that it was going into network marketing, I had a decision to make, to either get over my opinion of it or have my prayers answered in something I didn't see coming. So to answer your question, Tyler, it began and it ended with the legitimate science, the finished product science, not the ingredients-based science in medical journals that I was already reading. So that was the only thing that I needed to see. And it was extremely profound, and I'd never seen it anywhere else.
I love that. I think that's the experience of a lot of the people in this. I've heard that everywhere I go. I mean, it's some version of that. I was either really, really busy, didn't have a ton of time. I needed something with validation. I knew the industry didn't have a lot of validation. I was excited about a company that had validation, and I wanted to be a part of that, right? Yep. So tell us really quick, if you will, don't explain this at the level that you understand it, okay? Will you please explain this at a level that I would understand? I mean, I'm just a real estate appraiser from Central Utah. I know there's a lot of people on this call that might be out in the middle of somewhere, in the middle of, that are wondering, do I have to know what Dondee knows to be successful? What is it about Protandim? I mean, tell us what Protandim is in the most layman's terms you possibly can.
Absolutely. Well, it capitalizes on a major advancement in science. And I'm going to go all the way back to 2002. I read a book in 2002 and I brought it because it was a very pivotal book in my life. It's called Never Be Sick Again. And the author's name is Raymond Francis. And in 2002, he talked about all disease having one common denominator: cellular malfunction. No matter what disease it is, whether it's an inconvenient disease like back pain or a terminal disease like cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and things of that nature, they all have one common denominator, and it is cellular malfunction. In other words, some cells are malfunctioning, and as a result, we call it a disease, and sometimes it can be terminal. But he went in a deeper level, and of the one disease, cellular malfunction, there's only two causes, and that is deficiency and toxicity. And we are deficient in something, and as a result, the cells start functioning normally, and they start malfunctioning, and then left long enough, we call it a disease. Or the other is they're deficient in something, they need something they don't have, and they're not getting it. And so as a result, if left that way, it will start to malfunction. So toxicity and deficiency are the only two causes of all disease, and activation handles them both. And so when I saw the magnitude of that, it was purely the magnitude. And I understood antioxidants and I understood ORAC values, which most people who understand antioxidants kind of measure it in an ORAC value, which stands for oxygen radical absorbance capacity. The higher the number, the stronger the antioxidant, which is where the blueberries and the oranges and the turmeric and all the spices come in. And that was the model. That was the prevailing model until activation. And it literally is a 1-to-1 ratio with the spices and the berries and the super fruits from the exotic corners of the rainforest somewhere you've never heard of. And it comes highly toted, or when your cells do it by themselves. So 1-to-1, meaning whatever that ORAC value is. And I'll give you an example. Turmeric it has about a 15,000 ORAC value, but it would take 66 tablespoons of turmeric every single second to come close to what you see in that blue bottle right there. 66 tablespoons. Nobody has the ability to even consume 66 tablespoons per second. Well, when it's your cells doing it, it's 1-to-1, meaning one number of that 15,000 will neutralize one free radical. So turmeric neutralizes 15,000 free radicals per second, but it's 1-to-1 million per second. Every molecule, and there's millions in every cell of your body, every single one of them is neutralizing 1 million free radicals per second, every second, ongoing. It was exponential. So and I looked at it, I looked a little deeper until I got to a number I couldn't even fathom. And that's how many free radicals does the human body create in one day just by keeping up with its BMI, its basal metabolic index, just by breathing. 300 sextillion free radicals every 24 hours. That's a 3 with 23 zeros after it. So how many tablespoons of turmeric at 15,000 molecules or 15,000 free radicals neutralized, how many tablespoons of turmeric would you have to eat? Beyond human capacity, that's how much. And that's when I realized 66 tablespoons every second of turmeric, or 1 tablet per day. It was a very, very easy question for me to answer. And that's when I realized this is where I have to finally adhere to 100% of my Hippocratic oath that I took as a chiropractor. And that is, first, to do no harm. Second, to do everything within my power, my education, and my experience to do right by my patients. And once I understood the magnitude of that, I had to tell my patients. I had an ethical and moral responsibility to. Forget whether they bought it or not, or believe me or not. I had an ethical responsibility, and not just to my patients, to the world at large. And that's when I decided to jump into this company. And 18 months later, back in 2009, in 2010, I sold my practice, and I've been a stay-at-home dad for the last 14 years, thanks to LifeVantage and what it's doing for people in the world. So it was an easy decision for me. That 1-to-1 versus 1-to-1 million made it super simple. And that's not my opinion. That's published in medical journals. Read them yourself.
So with that, I mean, how many medical journals are confirming what you're saying right now?
At least 30.
There's 30. So 30 plus medical journals are confirming what Dr. Nettles is saying on this call tonight. Okay. Now, I want to take it one step further. I'm going to give you I can't do what Dr. Nettles just did. He is amazing. He's knowledgeable. He has so much wisdom. That's why I love this guy. Okay. I want you to send this video to anybody that needs to hear what he just said. Okay. Here's what I say. It makes your body work like it did when you were young.
Yep.
That's what it does. If you felt better when you were 15, take our product. If you felt better, if you want energy, if you want to have the kind of pain that you, or the less amount of pain that you'd like when you were 15, you need to take this product. Now, I know that explanation is not enough. So you tell them that and then have them listen to what Dr. Nettles just said. Those two things, one will get him to listen. What Dr. Nettles just said, it makes them want to take the product forever. Is that fair? Okay. All right. Next thing. Let's go to this next slide, you guys. We're pretty proud of what's happened here just recently. We went out to a bunch of consultants. We said, hey, what do we need to do? You know, we have one of the most standalone products out there for all the reasons that Dr. Nettles just talked about. We have this. What can we do? And they said, you need to add collagen. Now, I will tell you, when I first heard about this, I was not fired up. I was like, wow, really, collagen? And because I didn't understand, I did not know what collagen would do. So I am really excited to have Dr. Nettles tell us, what does the combination of Protandim and collagen, I mean, what is the significance of those two things together if someone really does care about their health, or if they're looking for that health solution? What is that significance?
Great question, Tyler, and thank you so much. And I will mirror what you just said, because I remember hearing about the new product collagen coming out, and I was like, great, we're getting into the beauty world again. I thought and nothing against that. I just didn't think it was going to be a product that had merit, because I understood supplementation as far as collagen is concerned. I did not understand collagen activation. So if you look at the blue bottle, the Protandim NRF2, it reduces oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. And maybe some of you on today's Zoom have never heard of oxidative stress. Well, let's forget the first word and just focus on the second. Stress. You understand what stress is. If you're under stress, you're not as good of a husband or a wife or an employee or a dad or an uncle or whatever it is, even a neighbor. When stress enters the equation, you are less than your potential. So it starts there. That's the foundation. Reduce the oxidative stress, or reduce the overall stress to every one of your cells. That's the benchmark. That's the foundation. Now we can build on top of that with collagen, because every single joint in your body, all 5 things that make it up, the bone, the muscle, the tendon, the ligament, and the cartilage, all of them are made of collagen. Everything that holds you together, your brain, your heart, your cardiovascular system, all of your muscles, your nerves, everything is made with collagen. It is literally what holds you together. So if you have a foundation of less cellular stress overall, and now you add back in not just supplementing collagen. So in that beautiful brown and pink bottle, there is an amazing amount of collagen. But that's not the benefit, because it's not the only collagen containing product out there. Some of you are already on one. You mix it in your coffee every day. You buy it in the blue tub at your average warehouse, but it doesn't tell you to take before and after pictures. And most of the time it's because they're not expecting any profound visible results. This one is different. And the reason why it's different is it turns your body's ability to make its own collagen back on again. And when I found that out, I completely abandoned my previous my previous understanding of, wow, why are we doing this product? Then I understood exactly why, because as a chiropractor, every single disc in every vertebra is made of 60% collagen on the outside and 40% collagen on the inside. And now we're starting to see x-rays where they're actually getting bigger disc spaces again, which never happens. But it matters now how you feel on the inside. So if you're looking better in those before and after pictures, imagine what's happening on the inside. And here's the thing that blows me away, Tyler. With the ability of the human body, it prioritizes its own need. And that is, supplements don't do that. You can take a supplement, and if you take too little, you're still going to have the symptoms, though they may be reduced a little bit if that's what you're focusing on. Or you can take too much and have an adverse reaction. But the body, when left to its own devices and making its own collagen, making its own antioxidant enzymes, never, ever, ever makes too little or too much. It always makes the right amount for your need, but your need may be different than the person who's taking the same products. And so your experience may be different, because your hierarchy of need is determined by your body's innate wisdom, not the benefit of the products. And so someone may take the products and have a great experience. Someone else may take the products and have a completely different experience, but also great based on the needs of that person. That is what activation does that supplements can't do. It's empowering the human body to do what it's designed to do in the proper priority.
And I hope you guys are writing these things down. I mean, you are hearing one-liner after one-liner after one-liner of how do you start a conversation. That's what you're hearing on this call right now, okay? Get people in front of this. All right, let's jump into that, you guys. We got a couple more. We're going to go through them pretty quick here, because I understand. I want to really I know you guys have limited amount of time, so I want to respect that. Okay, let's dive into fat burn really quick. We've got a really cool product coming up here in a couple slides. Why is fat burn one of those things people should be paying more attention to? What is the fat burn? Tell us about this, Dondee. How does fat burn start to prepare you for what our company's doing in October?
That's a great question. And what fat burn does is it redesigns and reconfigures your body's metabolic process. So rather than your body burning the calories that you're eating in the last meal that you ate as its primary source of energy, it'll break down your own fat and use that. And that is it is an incredibly wise and it is an incredibly normal process. And the ingredients of fat burn stimulate that process. So literally just by taking this product, you're going to burn an extra 181 calories every single day by breaking down your body's fat, because it breaks down the fat, turns the fat into carbohydrates, and then burns the carbohydrates as energy rather than using the energy from the food that you ate. And as soon as your food is done, then you get hungry again. This is incredible from two different ways: burning your fat, metabolizing your fat, reducing your body's cellular fat, and giving you extra calories to burn rather than relying simply on your carbohydrates. But it's also makes your organs function better, makes your body function better, because it's a more efficient pathway when you've got the carbohydrate metabolism and the fat metabolism happening simultaneously. And this product does it. It's literally the equivalent of getting 4,000 more steps every day.
At this stage, Dondee, would it be fair for me to tell friends and family, people that I care about, would it be fair to me to say, make your body work right? I mean, give your body the best chance. Your body knows how to do it. It knows what to do. It did when you were younger. It's just kind of slowing down with age. I mean, we're programmed to do that. Reverse the program, right? Give it the building blocks of collagen. Would it be fair to say your cells need the building blocks? Would it be fair to then say, and if you can start burning that or turning that bad fat into good fat, or burning the fat the way you're supposed to do it, at the end of the day, all of those things are going to contribute to a way healthier lifestyle. Would that be a fair thing to say?
It would be a very, very fair thing to say. And to your point, what you've said numerous times, Tyler, is that these products help our bodies function the way they did when we were younger. And I want people to truly understand the impact of that statement, because there's only two phases of human life. There's the growth phase and there's the aging phase. The growth phase starts when we're born and it goes to about our mid-20s. And then the aging phase starts immediately after that. Well, here's the reality. Under normal circumstances, nothing dies while it's growing. It only dies while it's aging. So if we can take an aging population and make their bodies function the way they did when they were younger and functioning that way, then we're focusing on efficiency of body function and not treating symptoms. And the earlier we can do that, if we optimize cellular function, we optimize innate potential to make it work the way it did when we were younger, you can't get better than that. And these products are doing it daily.
Let's jump into the very next one. Gentry, give us that next slide, because I think now that you've listened to Don, I know you're impressed as I am. I know you are. And if you're brand new, I know there's a lot of information. You're going to love every time you open a door, you're going to love the information behind it. But it leads me to this. It's one thing for my body to be working great. It's one thing for me to feel great. It's one thing for me to, have energy. But I'll tell you, I'm not sure any of that matters if my mind isn't right, if I don't have clarity, right? Can you explain to everybody what the Axial product is and the importance that it has for just helping your brain?
Yeah, it's categorized as an energy drink, but that tremendously undersells it, because it's called a nootropic. It's literally a mental and brain function optimizer. So what this product does, and there's caffeinated versions, there's decaffeinated versions, it literally allows our brain chemistry, our neurotransmitters specifically, to balance themselves. And so we have things like dopamine and serotonin and adrenaline and noradrenaline and epinephrine and norepinephrine. Those are the 6 primary neurotransmitters of the brain. Well, the brain, if it cannot understand its own limitations and doesn't understand the body's needs, it can't remedy them. This product allows efficiency, focus, attention span, short-term memory improvement by focusing on balancing neurotransmitters. And so when the brain chemistry is optimized, it can fix a lot of its own issues just simply by focusing the attention on it. But when it's distracted because the neurotransmitters are out of balance, it simply doesn't do that. So what this product does, in a nutshell, is improve brain function to allow our brain to, one, remedy its own issues and then be able to remedy the issues of the body. But it can only do that if it's communicating with itself at an optimal level. And that's exactly what this product does.
So as this company's evolved over the 14, 15 years that you've been a part of it, are you pretty happy with where this company is at today? Did you have any idea it was going to be here 15 years ago?
No, I had no idea. I mean, I did on a little scale, but as we continued to add activating products, the immense, the enormity of it and the potential globally keeps getting bigger and bigger. And here's really why this is so profound right now, Tyler, because the world literally doesn't understand activation yet. And that is our responsibility. And we are in position one when the world finally understands what activation is. We've been here all along. And so I mentioned when I alluded back in 2002 in that book, Never Be Sick Again, was written. A year later, actually less than a year later, there was a global project that was completed called the Human Genome Project. And ever since 2003 up to present, for the last 21 years, there has been a race in the private sector, in the public sector, in the network marketing sector to optimize cellular performance at the DNA level. And we are the only company on planet Earth that is doing it the right way. And you can do it nutraceutically. They're trying to do it pharmaceutically. And as you mentioned when you introduced me, I was born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area. It used to be the .com capital of the world. It is now the biotech capital of the world. And people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and Apple and Google, they have invested billions and billions of dollars to try to find pharmaceutical versions of what we already have, and they don't have any yet. But the day will come when they do come out with something, and when that day happens, this box is going to be relevant. Because this box, people will call this Kleenex, but if you read on the bottom, it's the Kirkland brand. Kirkland hates the fact we call this Kleenex. Kleenex loves the fact we call this Kleenex. And why do we call this Kleenex? Because they were first. We are first. We are the activation company. We are the only activation company with bona fide science, with a 20+ year head start and products to market that are actually making a difference. When the world catches on to what we have, because we are literally right now, we are creating the first generation of human species in human history that will never have to experience oxidative stress at a high level. They will never have to experience collagen deficiency at a high level. They will never have to experience other pathways that we haven't even talked about, and some we have talked about, mitochondria depletion or NAD depletion. They will never have to experience that unless they choose to be ignorant about what they're hearing and they choose to turn a deaf ear to it. That's on them. But the reality of it is it's well published. It's well understood. We've been doing it for over 20 years, and we are in position one to dominate when the world finally finds out what we're talking about is true.
You guys, I know you guys been listening to the rest of the night. I know I can too. We have one more. We have one more of the most exciting things coming. This is not as well understood throughout the field. I cannot wait for you to hear what Dr. Nettles is going to tell you tonight about a product. It's an activation product. It's the next in line. So if you've been excited about what you've heard about tonight, I mean, if you've heard, and I know some of you guys are like, wow, this is amazing. I might need to do a little research. I want to talk to someone. That's fine. I know you're excited. This next product, you guys, I am part of the trial for this next product. Okay. I'm part of it. I started it about 2 weeks ago. There's a lot of things I'm not allowed to say while I'm in the trial, but I'm just going to tell you this. Okay. It's a weight loss product. Everyone knows that. Dondee's going to explain the GLP-1 in just kind of a 30,000 foot view for us. But let me just give you just one experience that I'm having right now. Okay. I'm out here in Sturgis riding my Harley at the bike rally. I had to bring 2 different sizes of shirts because my extra larges are too large. And I was thinking that you guys, I just can't wear the extra larges. That's all I'm going to tell you. And my behaviors, the only behavior that I have really changed is I just don't snack as much. I'm not going to the gym. So why is this happening? Why am I running around with one of our guest speakers tonight, and we sit down for dinner and I don't even want to, I have zero desire to eat that food. Can you tell us, Dondee, why does GLP-1 matter? I mean, what is so significant about GLP-1 as we get ready for what we believe is going to be the biggest launch our company has seen in probably the last decade?
Great question. And I think a big part of that answer, Tyler, is when we came out with the collagen product, we came out with a product that people already understood on some level. This is an even bigger level of understanding, is people understand weight management, and they understand losing weight, and they understand yo-yo diets, and they know they don't like them. So the reality is, over 50% of the US population is focused on their weight and managing their weight. And almost every year, New Year's resolutions, the number one thing is to lose weight. And so it's a very common subject. And we are dealing now with the ability to look at physical hunger versus emotional hunger, or what I call the seafood diet. You see the food, you want to eat it, or you're influenced by the commercials, and people capitalize on that. Marketing capitalizes on your inability to say no to something that looks good to you. It's a reality. So it's why this works so well, why this GLP-1 works so well is when we eat food, your body releases GLP-1 naturally to prolong the emptying of your stomach. In other words, to keep with the contents of your food in your stomach longer. It does that by design. But just like all the other products we talked about, and you're mentioning, it gets back to the efficiency when we were younger. This is the exact same scenario. So as we're eating and we're eating food, what this new product is going to do and why you're experiencing what you're experiencing, Tyler, it will give you the feeling of being full longer. And it will also curb your hunger. So we eat sometimes that physical hunger. When we get hungry, it's the body's signal. And I can't go into that. There's a reason for that. But when you are hungry, your body sends a signal to you to stimulate that hunger, and then you go eat. Most of the time, or a lot of times, we can overeat. This will help with that. So it's going to help you feel fuller longer and curb your hunger cravings so that we are eating a much more nutrient dense and much more caloric friendly food intake for us so that we're not getting excess calories, which put on as body weight. It's a multifaceted approach, but just suffice to say the two things we're going to be benefiting from the most is feeling fuller longer and curbing the hunger that we typically have.
You guys, I love it. I love it. I love it. We have gone through the full spectrum, you guys, for making your body work like it did when you were young, giving it the building blocks that you need, turn the bad fat into good fat, get your brain through the nootropics. I think I said that word correctly. Okay. Get your brain, and now get your weight at a place where it's healthy. Get your weight to that place where that you can maintain it so that you can now be in at least for what I want, the most active, where I can create the most memories. As I've gotten my two grandkids, you guys, the two grandkids have made me realize how much longer I want to live. And I don't want to live just sitting in the couch. I want to live hiking the hills. I want to live riding the bikes. I want to live swimming. I want to do the things that will build the memories or the foundations with my next generation of my family. And this company is positioning us to do that. So whether it's the financial side, because we said there's two pieces, right? Whether it's the financial side, which I do long presentations on that for the people that want the granular version of that. Just know that those four behaviors of customer gathering, consultant gathering, developing leadership, and then sharing in what the entire company is what our comp plan does. And it's very, very lucrative, okay? The people that have taken advantage of that love it. Or if you're on the health side, just know that we have a full spectrum from the beginning all the way to the end. We're an activation company to make your body behave like it already knows how to do. You heard Dondee say that your body will produce the things that they can use the best. It knows how to be its own pharmacy, basically, right? And so you heard him say that. That's what this company is committed to do. That is where we're positioned today. And that leads me now. You see this slide, I got to say, we got to get loud, you guys. Yes. Let's be honest. We need to get loud, right? I don't know if you can listen to Dondee, not call all your friends. That's how I feel about it. But you need to get loud, go tell the story. But I feel really, really fortunate tonight to just circumstantially, for all you guys that got on the call, that invited your people onto the call, circumstantially, we actually get to hear from our CEO tonight. Our CEO, Steve Fife, is one of the coolest guys. He rides a Harley. He's up here in Sturgis with me. You should see this guy cornering. He and Diana, they just flow around the corners. He's been doing it for 20 years. He's the man that had the vision, the foresight, the ability to go out and ask consultants to come here. He's the one that went to the board of directors and said, I need some money. I want to invest in this project. He has this Project 360 that he's got everyone bought into. The reason the company's in the position today is because he had the courage to go out and challenge what was just a kind of a status quo. Okay. He had the courage to do that. It takes a real leader to do something like that and take that kind of risk. Well, we're lucky to have him. I'm going to trade places with him real quick. If you don't believe how committed he is to his Harley, you should just look at his hat. So with that being said, one of my really good friends and your CEO, Steve Fife.
Thank you, Tyler. And thank you everyone for being on this call today. It's amazing the energy that is starting to really manifest on these Wednesday calls. The opportunity at LifeVantage is real. I've been with the company now for 7 years. I started as the CFO, and I can tell you that I started with this company because I saw an opportunity. I saw a business opportunity, and quite different than the opportunity that many of you are looking at. But I looked at it as a publicly traded company that had real growth potential and the ability to financially make a real impact. But as I've now been here for 7 years, what I also have come to appreciate and love about this company and this industry is the physical impact that our products have and the financial impact that our compensation plan has at a very, very individual basis. It's been a privilege of mine, an honor, to see how those two things in tandem have affected individual lives. And it's what makes me gets me excited about getting up every morning, to knowing that we have the ability to have that kind of impact on people's lives. And I just want to tell you that LifeVantage right now is at an absolute inflection point, and it's in part due to incredible leaders that we have, like Tyler, like Dondee. You've heard from a couple of not just leaders within LifeVantage, but within this industry, who also know the opportunity that we have. And we did invest heavily in this industry. I believe in it. Our board of directors believes in it. And there are so many changes going on right now in our world and in our industry that for us to get loud about activation, and that activation isn't just our products, but it is our compensation plan. And I'm going to add a third element of why LifeVantage is so special. Dondee and Tyler have talked about our compensation plan. We've talked about our products, but there is an amazing culture within this company. And the fact that people join a call like this and share their experiences, this is going out to cross organizations. It doesn't matter who you are. This is family LifeVantage, if you will. And so everyone has the opportunity to hear from these amazing people and to take advantage of the entrepreneurship opportunity that we have. So I'm grateful that you're on this call tonight. I know you took some nuggets away. Thank you to Tyler and to Dondee for spending their time sharing this knowledge. I've been sitting here in the background, and every time I listen to them, I learn things. And so I hope you also learned. And you stay in touch with those people that invited you to this call, and really take advantage of this opportunity that can change your lives and the lives of many others. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Tyler. Thanks, everyone.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I mean, if you can't hear the commitment in his voice, if you can't see the sincerity in his voice, I mean, he's calm. I talk fast, I talk loud. He's calm. He knows where we're going. What a great leader. Okay. All right, you guys, we're wrapping this baby up. I have to tell a huge thanks to Dondee. What an incredible wealth of knowledge you are. What an incredible leader you are. I know that you're an incredible husband and father as well. So you guys, I hope you guys appreciated those things. But to close this call out, I would not be doing my job if I did not talk to you about what's going on, like a next step. What do you do from here? Okay. Well, number one, you put Wednesday night on your calendar every single night. I mean, every week you need to be on these calls. You are very, very lucky to have another Field Advisory Board member doing next week's call. And believe it or not, it's who introduced me. We're kind of getting a little pattern here. I introduced last week and I did the call tonight. Tara introduced me tonight. She's doing it next week. Let me give you a real quick, let me just tell you who she is. Okay, let me just tell you a real quick bio of who she is, because you're going to want to get your teams on this call. The beauty of these calls, by the way, is that you get to hear a lot of different personalities. There's not just one way to do it. So you're going to find something that really relates to you. If you're brand new and this is your first night, get on the one next Wednesday. You know, if we did something you love, use it. If we did something you didn't like, get on the one next Wednesday. Maybe you'll find something that you love there. But get on every Wednesday. Okay. So here's who Tara is. She was a mortgage broker. So I was a real estate appraiser. She was a mortgage broker. I know her world really, really well. She was very successful at that, by the way. She has a psychology degree from Berkeley. So she's educated. She's an entrepreneur in mortgage. She's educated with a psychology degree. Got to be careful around her. She's always reading who you are, you know. So that's kind of fun. She's married to Chris. She's been married to her husband, Chris, for over 20 years. Again, another big sign of commitment. She's the mom of three. She's been in the industry for 17 years. She's been with LifeVantage for 9 of those years. She has done, now get this, you know, if you're just wondering who you're $350 million in sales. So think about that, $350 million. She has gone out and had this conversation or built teams and found consultants to help her sell $350 million in sales. She's been at the top of 4 companies. She mentioned that at the beginning. She's been at the top of 4 companies. So if you're hearing this and you're going, okay, it's great that Dondee's at the top, Tyler's at the top, you know, Tara's been at the top. How do I get to the top of a company? It might be wise of you to listen to someone who's done it 4 times, okay? So she currently does over $1.5 million a month in sales, and she's at the highest rank you can be in this company, which is a presidential. So again, I'll just say this, you guys, to wrap this thing up. Wednesday night should be on everybody's calendar. It should just be a known thing. But here's the trick. Don't get on the calendar by yourself. Don't get on the call by yourself. The only way to win at this game is to bring a friend or bring 2 friends or bring 3 friends, okay? Bring a friend to the call. Now, in addition to these Wednesday calls, if you're wondering where you can learn about information being leaked out, you get on the close of the month call or you get on the beginning of the month call, where the corporate team, where Steve and his team has told us, we get to start sharing information that we know early so that you can start incorporating it into your messaging before it's launched, so that you can start being prepared for what GLP-1 is before it's actually available, so that you don't have to try to learn about it over a month or 2 once you can go market the product. So get on the end of the month calls. The beginning of the month calls are goal setting calls. We're going to talk about behaviors. How many people should you talk to? Things like that. So we're going to celebrate successes, give you some information, and then walk you through kind of some of the behaviors that would allow you or help you to be somebody like what Dr. Nettles did tonight. I mean, how you can find someone like Dr. Nettles that you listen to tonight. So everybody's, you know, you're going to hear from a lot of great leaders, you guys. These calls are very, very helpful. I know in the beginning, I wish I would have had something like this. I had to do everything trial and error. I had to learn everything the hard way. Don't be me, okay? Don't be me. Participate in the calls. Take advantage of this. If you need a financial solution, we've got it. If you need a health solution, we've got it. If you want both, get loud. Let's go. Get this thing done. Help us. We're asking you to help us tell the world what this company has. So with that being said, thanks, Tara. Thanks, Dondee. Thanks, Dr. Nettles. I appreciate everything you did tonight. And, thanks, Steve. And I will catch up with you guys somewhere on the road.
And I'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Recording stopped.